Hey everyone, welcome back to Erin Lanahan Method TV. It's been such a joy to spend so much time with you recently. Today's message is really about self-worth. And, we hear this all the time. It's almost cliche, when you hear about, you have to, know your worth and know you're worthy of love. And, that's all great, but it's not really practical. It's not really, I don't know, I personally have experienced that there's more to it than just knowing you need to know your worth. And we have this real powerful way of creating our lives. Like, we are the creators of our lives, whether we know it or not, whether we believe that, whether we take responsibility for that or not. And I know for me, sometimes that's scary, and most of the time it's empowering when I remember that, depending on what's going on, depending on what I'm needing to take responsibility for. So I want to tie today's message of self-worth also into being an almighty, powerful creator of our own lives, co-creating with the universe. And so let's talk a little bit about self-worth first. So I think it's pretty safe to say that most of us deal with some form of inadequate self-worth, self-worth that perhaps isn't optimal. Yeah. There are, there's probably a few lucky ones out there that for whatever reason never struggle with that. I have yet to meet anyone like that, not saying they don't exist. But so as far as that goes, self-worth, it could be really small in your life, it could be really big in your life in terms of how much you struggle with it and how much it affects you. So some of us just get born with more work to do in this area than others. I personally am one of those people. I've had to do a lot of work in this area. I do not know why I've stopped questioning that. I just know that for whatever reason, it's my soul's plan, it's my soul's path, it's my journey, and it's also becomes more clear that the things that we have to learn and go through in our lives also play a huge role in who we are, and who we have the potential of being and becoming and showing up as in our relationships, in our work, in our lives all together. So when we are carrying around a deep sense of or a deep lack of self-worth, there is a way that we create or we form a belief that says, I'm broken, or there's something terribly wrong inside of me, and it's so unconscious when this happens. Usually it happens at a very, very young age. Some of us just get born like that. Or some event takes place throughout our lives, whether it's our parents got divorced or something traumatic happened or we were violated in some way, and we internalize a feeling that we don't understand. So there's something that happens. All we know is it hurts really, really bad, and what we get left with is something's wrong with me. And this continues to carry through our lives. We carry it with us. Now, again, some people maybe are made to confront it early on and get free of it early on. Other people carry it forever and never become free of it. I myself personally am on the kind of path that I am constantly having to be made aware of where there still might not be optimal or unconditional self-love, which I'm very, very thankful for. I'm very grateful for. Am I always loving that in the moment? No. But because of the freedom and the peace that comes after the storm passes, for that I praise, for that I am grateful for the blessings that show up as obstacles. So when we have this belief, like, okay, there's something fundamentally wrong with me, everything in our lives become an extension of that. Everything we do, so our perception becomes warped by this idea that there's something fundamentally wrong with us. And we start to see things from this perception, and then from that perception we begin to make choices, and we begin to create our lives. We create our lives. So we're always creating, whether we know it or not, whether it's coming from an empowered place or a loss of power place. We are always creating. We get into relationships, and things happen. Like, the mind is very, very powerful. The thoughts that we think are extremely powerful, and they have the power to manifest in the physical world. So as we have these really deep, very strong perceptions of there's something fundamentally wrong with me, and we continue to confirm that through our actions, because our actions are a result of that perception, then we give this more momentum, we make it stronger, we make it more ingrained, more a part of our reality and of the universe's co-creation with us. So the universe doesn't have like this is good and this is bad. The universe hears us say, this is what I want, and it says, okay, here you go. It doesn't really understand that, if we're thinking about something all the time, the universe can't determine whether we're thinking about that because we don't want it or we want it. It just knows, like, that's where our attention is. So, okay, I'm going to respond to that. So if our attention is on, there's something wrong with me, blah, 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 because it's a loving universe, because, our higher self does actually know what we want, everything we do is we create these situations that have to bring our attention to where we still have this belief that there's something fundamentally wrong with us. Until we fully own that, until we fully sit with that and confront that, then we continue to create the same situations over and over again. They might look different, but the feeling is the same, the experience is the same, and many people choose to stay the victim and kind of keep telling the same story, or why do these things always happen to me? Why do people lie to me? Why do people hurt me? And they stay in a blaming place. And there's no healing, there's no solution, there's no moving forward when we're blaming somebody for what's going on in our own lives. And this part is the hardest piece, at least it has been for me. As I said, many times it's empowering, and other times it's very, very hard, because especially when we are creating so unconsciously. I'll give you an example. I've made it my mission in my life to do the work necessary to be free of any unhelpful thinking, of any unhelpful actions, of any unhelpful, unnecessarily choices that create unnecessary suffering for myself. Now, even though I've done all that work, I still find myself in situations where I create unnecessary suffering, and I become conscious of a very deep belief that's still there, that has this idea that there's something fundamentally wrong with me. And it's quite shocking, when you see it, a lot of times in hindsight, it's quite shocking. And I've seen the tendency is to blame and to justify why we did things the way we did them. And then you have to catch yourself. You've got to say, I am the creator of my life. I have called this person into my life. I have created this situation. I have created this entire thing. And I did that so that I could get the learning from it. I did that because there is something here that I need to confront. There's something here that I have yet to be able to see, so far through my life, that still needs healing. And until I really see that, I'm going to keep going through this over and over and over again. And sometimes we're like, yep, that's okay. I'm going to keep going through this because I can't handle looking at it yet. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. I have made that choice before. And then I've also gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I am sick of hurting like this. I am sick of making choices like this. I want to experience something more expansive, something more liberating, something more creative, something filled with more love, more connection, something I can trust, something that's real. And in order to do that, I've got to break the paradigm that's created by this illusion that I am somehow broken. So my point is that, you know, when there are these, when our foundation has a weakness in it, or I don't like even the word weakness because it seems like a judgment, but when there is a, you know, a faulty foundation that, you know, which is basically our faulty perception, you know, our faulty perception, then we build our life and our relationships and everything on top of this faulty perception or this faulty foundation. So everything is eventually gonna have to come crashing down. And then we want to turn around and we want to point the finger and we want to blame everybody else for it. And we can't do that, because the foundation will never become strong if we do that. We will continue to go elsewhere, build another faulty foundation, and do the same thing all over again. And I don't know about you, but that's exhausting. It's exhausting and it's sad and it's hard, and there's no reason to have to keep going through that. So we have to stop pointing the finger and start pointing it back at ourselves, and not to punish ourselves or to feel you know, guilty or why or any of that. That's not helpful. What we want to do is we want to say, okay, I am the powerful creator of my life. I get to co-create with the universe. I can create whatever I like. So let me get the learning from this situation. Let me get the learning from this relationship. Let me get the learning from this choice that I made. Let me get the learning. Let me do this now. Let me heal it now. Let me heal this now, so that I can move forward in a way that is authentic and free and liberated and expansive and filled with love within and all around me. And that's a choice that we finally make once we are ready to make it. So today, I want you to look at your life and look at your relationships, and where are you over-compromising, and where are you bending over backwards to please people and to make sure they're comfortable and to take care of them so much, you know, giving up your right to be taken care of, giving up your, you know, your right to feel safe and secure, and your right to be nurtured and nourished as well. Where are you giving that up to give and give and give and give because you don't feel like you deserve to receive? You feel like if you don't do this, that, and the other thing, somehow you're not going to have what you want. Where might you be doing that in your life? Where might you be having a faulty foundation and thus building on top of that, creating a scenario that will have to eventually crash and burn? Just saying, it's good to take a look at these things. So, and also too, I'll just say one more thing. It's important to remember that everything that happens, it happens for us. It happens to bring more empowerment into our lives. It happens to create more loving relationships. It happens to catapult you forward, to help you thrive in ways you've not yet thrived before. It's coming to help you take back all this power that has been lost along the way because of a faulty perception. And your opportunity is now. It's in the challenge. It's in the obstacle. These aren't doom and gloom. These aren't punishments. These aren't horrible things. They are blessings. I know you can't see it now. I know you don't, maybe not even believe that now. Maybe you even hate me for saying that, but I promise you, praise them as they are blessings in your life. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a powerful creator. As I am a powerful creator, we are all powerful creators co-creating with the universe. So get your creating on, get your you know, affirmations on, get your healing power on, and start taking a look at where you might be still making fear-based choices in your life, thus creating something you do not want. And how can you make choices that come from love, and faith and forgiveness and release, and that are authentic and that bring in more of what you want. So again, gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. Please contact me with any questions or comments. If you're interested in my 6 or 12-week one-on-one coaching program, please email me at transform@erinlanahanmethod.com, or you can just leave comments here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.